I'm inside Photoshop. If you notice, I have three images here. This is actually for our animation later for 2D in Unity. Um, well, basically, animation is the rapid display of a sequence of images to create this illusion of movement. Say, for example, you have three images all conforming to a particular motion by way of sequence. So by displaying the images one at a time at a rapid pace, you can actually fool the eye to identify this motion. So that's actually why we call it illusion of motion, the animation. But anyway, okay. Aside from this one, I also have. Well, I also have. I also have this one. Okay. This one is the same with the yellow. The only difference is that the color. I have blue. Okay. This is also a PNG file. If you notice, I don't have a background. I only have the this default background of Photoshop, and my layer. The stars are actually floating. Okay, meaning it's not uh, attached to the background. Okay, we have this layer here. Okay, uh, same goes for um, this one. Um, this one is red as compared to the other two. We have yellow, we have blue, and this one is red. Okay, same thing. I have a floating layer. I don't have a background. Okay, and then you make sure that you save this as PNG. So once you're done doing your images for your animation, what you do is you save your file as .png. Okay, this is to preserve the transparency or the layer without the background. If you're going to use a JPEG, by default, JPEG will recognize the background as white image or white color. So you don't need that. We need floating images like this one. Okay. Let's change this now. Okay, so how do you do this in Photoshop? How do you create a PNG file? But first, you have to come up with an image like this one. If you notice, by default, Photoshop will come up with a background for your file. This one, it's white in color. So what you're gonna do is you create a layer. Uh, this one. Create new layer. You notice you don't have anything for the layer. Well, I hope you guys are a bit familiar with Photoshop because I'm not gonna cover the details of this particular feature in Photoshop, the layering. But anyway, we now have this blank layer here. So what we do now is we create something using your lasso tool. There you go. And if you're done with this, you make sure that you selected or you highlighted the blank layer, since this is our target layer to contain this image later. Okay, so I'll use the paint bucket, and then I now have color inside it, inside the selected area for my layer one. So you can now select and deselect. Select it. I mean, click this button. We have select for the name of this button, and then you look for the select layer. Where is that? The select layers. Sorry. It's actually deselect, just deselect. Sorry. Okay, so we now have this image here, and it's actually floating since this is a separate layer. So it's not really attached to this one background. So we do away with the background by way of dragging this here in the trash bin. So there you go. And of course, you come up with series of this image to establish this frame by frame animation for Unity, like what I did with the three images that I showed you a while back. Anyway, so if you're done with this, you can now go to File, Save As, and you look for .png. This one. There you go, and then you click Save. So that is how you create a PNG file.